9 discs, grouped in sets of 3, show us how the energy is accumulating just one step before its final manifestation, suggested by the 10 strong rays emanating from the middle of the card. Crowley describes this card in the following way. The 3 central discs are of the magical pattern as in earlier cards, but the others, since the descent into matter implies the gradual exhaustion of the original whirling energy, now take on the form of coins. These may be marked with the magical images of the appropriate planets. As a general remark, one may say that the multiplication of a symbol of energy always tends to degrade its essential meaning, as well as to complicate it. Hello, my name is Beata. Welcome to another episode of my Thoth series. In this one, we will be talking about the 9 of discs. If you find my videos valuable, you can show your support by becoming a patron or with a one-time donation through PayPal. All links are in the video description below. Thank you very much for considering this. Your support will allow me to continue making these videos for you. Okay, let's get back to the 9 of discs now. The 3 middle discs are in the form of a symbol that we have already seen in the Ace of Discs. And it's interesting that 2 of the discs in the middle are see-through. And if you remember, we saw a similar thing in the suit of wands. Some of the wands looked like they occupied the same space. They were more the idea of a thing rather than the thing itself. But that was in the archetypal world of Absolute. Now we are in the last of the worlds, the manifest world of Asaya. And the energy here is quite dense. However, we still have this strong archetypal force in the very center. All of the discs here are arranged again in the shape of a hexagram that we remember from the 6 of discs. But this time the hexagram looks a bit more stretched. It's taller and narrower, which makes the middle discs even more disproportionately large than the rest. The smaller discs are in the shape of coins, and they have planetary glyphs changed into drawings of heads that symbolize different Sephiroth on the Tree of Life. We have Saturn on top, then below that Jupiter on the right and Mars on the left, and at the bottom we have Venus on the right, Mercury on the left, and the Moon at the very end in the middle. So we can see that the original idea of the disc as a whirling, living symbol no longer applies here. The discs have degraded to representing matter in its most basic function, as money. And this is why we have a phallus in place of Tiferet here. It's a solar symbol, but it's also the instrument of concentrated will. So will matters more here than the heart. We are more interested in just satisfying our needs and desires rather than in using our resources to help others, like we did in the 6 of discs. We do, however, have a significant amount of power here to achieve whatever we want. We have 10 quite wide rays emanating from the center of the card here, and this shows us the potential of this energy. We can achieve anything we want in matter, we can manifest our desires with ease. We are now in the 9th Sephirah Yesod, associated with the moon and color purple. Yesod is the place where the energy from all other Sephiroth gathers to be manifested into Malkuth. Crowley says about the influence of Yesod that it inevitably brings back the balance of force in fulfillment. The moon is, among other things, our resources. It is what we need to take care of ourselves. So in the realm of matter, it shows our financial security, and we have all we need here. This card is associated with the 2nd decan of Virgo, ruled by Venus, and the time frame for this decan is from the 2nd of September until the 11th of September. Venus is in depression in Virgo, and it means that this is the sign opposite of the sign of her exaltation, Pisces. And it should be a place where Venus doesn't feel quite right, but we need to remember that all the planets always have a function. Even if they are in a place where they can't fully express their power, they still find ways of using their potential in a way that is suitable for the sign that they are in. And it helps here, of course, that Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, is the most flexible of planets. He can fit his energy to suit whatever placement he is in, and he takes on the qualities of the planets that he's in touch with. His flexibility makes this placement a bit more bearable. It's like being in a city you don't like, but with a friendly guide. Because Virgo is such a perfectionist, and because she loves improving, fixing, and optimizing, she gives Venus a chance to do some good here for us in our finances. Social side of Venus might suffer here a bit, but we will still have her great taste and her love of all things luxurious. Crowley talks about it in the following way. This card is ruled by Venus. It purrs with satisfaction at having harvested what it sowed. It rubs its hands and sits at ease. As will be understood from the consideration of the tense, there is no reaction against satisfaction as there is in the other three suits. One becomes more and more stolid and feels that everything is for the best, in the best of all possible worlds. And that last quote brings us back to Voltaire and his satire Candide. I mentioned it in my video about the Ten of Swords. The quote echoes the thoughts of German philosopher Leibniz, who proposed that because God is perfect, he created a perfect world, in which all things that happen need to be accepted as they are. We don't understand everything from the point of view of divine creation, so we need to believe that everything will work out for the best. And Voltaire ridicules this approach in Candide by showing that it can only be acceptable for someone who is completely detached from real life and its hardships. And this is why we have it repeated here by Crowley. We become complacent in our success and in our riches, and we start to forget what it was like to be striving for something. Now I'm going to tell you a bit about how to interpret this card in divination. The Nine of Discs shows us gain, and this will usually be material gain, riches, inheritance, overall good fortune and good results in all matters concerning money and our material possessions. If this card describes a person, this will be someone who is doing very well financially, but this person might also be focused primarily on material gain. Money comes easily to them, and they might not understand the situation of people who are not as lucky in this regard. In work-related readings, this is a very positive card. If you are looking for a pay rise, or if you are wondering if accepting a given job offer will be beneficial to you, this card will tell you that you will be very happy with the results. It can also show an employee who will be good at making more money for your business, a salesman or a marketing expert. In relationships, this is usually not a very good card to have in a spread. It might mean that someone is in a relationship for their own financial gain, or that their main focus in life is just money and status. In spirituality, like most of the cards in this suit, the Nine of Discs can show too much emphasis on the material side of life, but it's also a grounded and harmonious energy. The final meaning will depend on the question and the placement of the card. If the Nine of Discs shows up in your reading as advice, it will encourage you to follow what you want to do. It will show you that you will achieve what you want, And it can also invite you to focus more on your finances or to make your decision based on material consideration. As an obstacle, on the other hand, it will be showing you that you are thinking about money too much. Maybe you are a bit obsessed with getting more and more money by any possible means, and you might get in trouble if you are not careful. There is more to life than just money and status. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to like the video, leave a comment, and of course subscribe to my channel. I would like to thank everyone who is already supporting me. I appreciate your help very much. And if you find my videos valuable, you too can show your support by becoming a patron or with a one-time donation through PayPal. All links are in the video description below. Thank you very much for considering this. Your support will allow me to continue making these videos for you. Once again, thank you all for today, and I will see you in the next video about the 10 of discs very soon. Thank you, bye!